G'day, I'm Carwile. I'm a naturopath, qualified naturopath, and I just thought I'd give you a real perspective on certain health issues that are pretty much everywhere in our society. Today I'll be talking about Bisphenol A, which is BPA. I'm sure you've heard of it. It's been shown to, in studies, to mimic thyroid and sex hormones in the body. It's also been linked to breast cancer, reproductive damage, developmental problems, and also heart disease and that sort of thing. It's found in food cans, plastic bottles. A lot of the time it's the epoxy resin lining inside of the food cans and that sort of thing. That's something that a lot of us are not aware of, and it's prolific in a lot of our Western diets today. The FDA have issued a warning in 2010 in regards to BPA. And they pretty much said that they're concerned about potential effects on the brain and on behaviour and that sort of thing, and also some potential effects on the prostate. And in 2011, which was not long after that, a study was done comparing a group of people who ate fresh soup, and then they had the urine tested for BPA. And then they ate canned soup, and then they had the urine tested for BPA. And the times when they ate the canned soup, the BPA levels in their urine was increased by 10, like it was 10-fold increase, which is quite significant, really. And then just 3 years later, the FDA, I'm pretty sure it's their current view now. In 2014, they came out and said, that there's not enough BPA in foods to really be concerned about. So you've got the FDA now saying that it's okay everybody, there's not that much BPA in a can of food. Right? You're not going to get breast cancer from eating 1 can of baked beans. But what about those people that eat canned food every single day? We're not sure about what it's doing to those people. In 2015, another study came out where they compared beverage intake from a can, and they took the same beverage, put it in a glass container, and then they drank from the glass container. They weighed up the two groups, and the one that the time when they took the beverage from the can, it was only two servings of the beverage, and it increased the blood pressure almost immediately by an average of about 4.5 points. But really, we need to be looking at where the funding of the FDA comes from. I mean, the drug companies, they pay big fees to the FDA to get their drugs approved and to maintain the approval of a lot of their drugs. We need to think about, the fact that the canned food industry was worth, I think, $77 billion in 2013. And Johnson & Johnson, for example, which is the biggest pharmaceutical company in the world, recorded, I think, $71 billion in revenue last year. So, with these kind of vested interests, we need to think about, whether we trust the FDA or whether we trust people who are giving us information. From my point of view, as a naturopath, everything should be eaten naturally. If you're going to have a soup, make it yourself. and then you know what goes in, you know what's going in it, if you know what I mean. Our bodies, are natural filters. Whatever we put inside of our body, it pretty much filters all the rubbish out. When your body becomes overloaded, you start getting signs like skin problems and arthritis and that sort of. So if we think about it, the FDA came out and said in 2010 that BPA is not very good for us. Since then they've changed their outlook. They've also obtained a lot of extra funding from the government since then, and now they've changed their outlook. And from my perspective, I think if you've got a $77 billion industry of canned food saying, hey look, can you guys say that our canned food isn't so bad? And then what's going to happen is all the people will get sick, and then they're going to have to spend money on pharmaceuticals. So the government's economy is going to grow, the gross domestic product's going to grow, and it's a win-win. As long as the FDA sort of say, well, traces of BPA aren't too bad, they're not really all that high in canned food, so we're saying that BPA is not too bad for now. Something else to keep in mind too, even the BPA free containers, all that's saying is that we've taken the Bisphenol A out of the plastic, but we've probably replaced it with another harsh chemical to create our resins, and it just hasn't been studied yet. Another 10 years from now we could be talking about a totally different chemical found in canned foods or found in plastic that's causing a completely new disease that nobody's seen before. Well, perhaps the FDA do have a point. There is only a small amount of BPA in the canned foods, in the plastic containers and that sort of thing. So be smart about it. If you're going to have canned food, relax, eat the canned food, but don't buy it again, or don't eat it again for the rest of the day. Maybe once a week, twice a week, have your canned food instead of every day. I just looked for some canned food in my cupboard just then, just to give you an example so I could hold it here, but I couldn't find one canned food or BPA product in my cupboard. So five years ago I could probably go into the cupboard and find you some canned tomatoes or something like that, but there's no way I'd eat canned tomatoes anymore. So it's up to you. It's up to you if you want to poison yourself, I guess, and listen to the FDA and put your faith in the government and the FDA and the drug companies, or you can take a new approach to your health, and that's one of being in control of your own health and not putting that faith in someone else for your own life. That's something that we should be doing if we're hanging from a cliff or something, and Sylvester Stallone has got a hold of us, you know what I mean? We've got to hold on to Sylvester Stallone, he's got to hold on to us, and we don't want to fall. A lot of people these days, as soon as they get something wrong with them, they go see Sylvester Stallone down at the doctor's surgery, and which is the drug companies and the going on a bit of a rant here, but I hope this has shed some light on the issue of BPA, and I hope you're very cautious about putting it in your body. It's up to you if you want to put it in your body, but I know I don't. Thanks for listening. This has been Jack Well Love. All the best. Take her easy.